G'day, I'm Clive and welcome to CDP Outdoors. Now this video today is made up of two parts. One, yesterday I came out and when I got home I found most of the audio wasn't that good. So I've come back out again today to do part two. So there'll be parts of this video where you'll see me in yesterday's clothes and the majority in today's clothes. Oh, off goes a couple of kangaroos. I don't know, see go around. I don't know if you got those in the distance. There's about 8 or 9 of them. The big one stopped, keeping an eye on me. Getting back to the video, what this video is about today is the Torrid jungle hammock with the Swagman Poncho liner. And if you saw my last video you would have seen I tried setting it up on the Goshawk hammock from Tier Gear, but it didn't work out too well. There's a couple of tweaks that may be needed to be made to make it work. Yep, there's that big one. So yesterday I came out with a Torrid jungle hammock which I've got in the pack now, and I was able to make it work without any add-ons, any extras. So I'll be setting it up very shortly and showing you how it worked and how I made it work. So now let's go back in time and enjoy yesterday. Today I'm at the Wollongong Reserve, which is only local to me. I can't travel too far because I had a little accident. A chainsaw tried to bite my finger off. So I'm not driving my car that far because I'm having to use this hand to change the gears. Plus I've got to go home, load the trailer up and go back out to work shortly anyway. But in my last video I showed me putting the Goshawk hammock up and trying it with the Swagman roll as an under blanket, and I mentioned that I'll bring out the Torrid hammock, the Torrid jungle hammock. So we'll have a look at that, but I'll show you a little video why I can't use my normal 2 trees. Enjoy this bit. Okay, between these 2 trees is where I normally hang my hammock, but somebody's beat me to it today. Look at this. It's no beauty. By the looks of it, let's get a bit closer. I think looking at that, that's part of the orb spider family. Don't ask me the technical name, but they normally sit on the tree, and unless you really look, the actual camouflage is fantastic. So I'll leave, by the looks of it, him alone, and I'll find a couple more trees. But his straps go up there to the tree, and then another one goes up there to the tree. So we'll leave him to keep hanging in his little hammock. I don't think the ants want me to be here. What I'll do, we'll move down to another set of trees. Okay, there's less ants here. Plenty of kangaroo poo, but less ants. So less chance of my legs getting bit. Fingers crossed. But these 2 trees are a bit too close together. But yesterday I made them work. So let's get it set up again. What I've bought is some lightweight straps which I got from Dutchware, and these have got these cinch buckles on, so I'll use these because they can be made a lot shorter, and they're already infested with the ants on the floor. But let's get it set up. See if I need to adjust that anymore. Yep, need to shorten them. That's it. And that's your basic hammock up. And this is the Torrid jungle hammock, which I've done a couple of reviews of. And it's one I mainly use now in the winter because it's really comfortable. And when you put the underquilt on it, you're basically in a cocoon you are. So now let's get the Swagman. On each corner of the Swagman, you've got these cinch buckles, or cord locks, that's it, not cinch buckles. And we've got the elastic cord which goes through and enables us to gather the end up. But also in each corner we've got the toggles, which we can use also. But I won't be using them on this because they're not needed. They're usually used to connect it to your poncho. So you can use this as a whole system with your poncho liner to be nice and warm in the colder weather. That's how simple it was. All I did was use the shock cords from the gathered end, and I've got a structural ridgeline which I put on myself with a couple of ridgeline carabiners from Dutchware, and I've just clipped them into that, and that holds it fairly centre. So now let's show you. So this is the hammock on the inside, and this is the Swagman Poncho liner working as an underquilt. And if I put my hand underneath, I've got about 1.5 inch, 2 inch gap there. And already laying here, I can feel the warmth beginning. And as you can see at the foot end, the Swagman's there, so my feet are going to be nice and warm. And we've used it as a sleeping bag or a top quilt. My feet will be in the foot box of either. Another thing I do is we've got the buckle on the elasticated strap. I found if I do that over the ridge line, just at the head end, because when I did it at the foot end, it brought it all too close, so there was no gap for insulation. So let's get in again. Make sure I've got the hammock. Try and set strap. Making it look awkward, aren't we? And as you can see, this elasticated strap holds this right up over my shoulder, and on the windy nights it's going to block me from the wind, and it's holding up at the top, and I've still got my foot, and I've still got a 1.5 inch gap below me. So let's get my camera and give you a close-up. So there's the bungee cords coming up to the carabiner there, and they come down to the Swagman. Now I've cut it out, but what I did, I got in thinking the hammock and actually going to the Swagman, and I actually, where it's stitched here, I ripped it and I ended up on the floor. So when you get in, make sure you're getting inside the hammock and not just the Swagman like I just did. And it's the same here, like I was just mentioning, the elasticated strap, which comes down to the Swagman, buckles up, and as you can see, it's holding that up, so it's not hanging down here where it was. I'll show you. So see how far it drops down, and when it's pinned up, it lifts it up about 4 or 5 inches, giving you a good wind block. And the same on this end, coming from here up to the carabiner on the structural ridge line. And as you can see, I've gathered the ends in, so they're sealed. There'll be no cold getting in or out, no cold getting in there, or any warmth getting out. The only thing I need to make sure of is where the hood of the Swagman, to make sure that's laying flat, because the gaps are there. So I've got to do my best to have it laying with the hood up over the gaps to help keep the heat in too. So nice and simple. Now, if any of you are wondering what I did here, my second business is, I've got a small building and grounds maintenance business, and I was chopping a tree down, and I was on the ground level cutting a branch up here ready to take the main trunk down, because it was leaning up against a wall, pushing a wall over, so I couldn't just drop the tree, or else we would have lost the wall completely. But the ground gave way, and as the ground gave way, the chainsaw in this hand, that's supporting it, ground gave way, hand comes down, and the chain grabs hold of my actual safety glove, and thankfully I had the safety glove on, because it ripped through the safety glove and put 3 deep cuts in his finger. And the nurses and doctors said if I hadn't had them safety gloves on, I would have lost my fingers straight across there. So properly trained, got all the tickets, doing the right thing, wearing the right gear, I saved my hands, thankfully. So I've got to go back next week now, because I've been told again this morning, because this happened Friday and we're on Monday now, and they told me that I've got at least another week, because I've been using my hand for work, I'll keep opening the cuts up. So now I've got to get a splint to go on there if I want to do any work, so I don't bend that finger and open them up again. Silly me. But that's how that happened. Now getting back to the hammock and the Swagman. Even though I've just broke the bungee cord, which goes straight to the Swagman here, that's a simple fix. I could just unstitch it, tie a knot in the end of the cord, put it in, and then re-stitch that bit up where the bungee cord goes in. So that's what, a 10-minute job. Now, is this any good as an underquilt? Temperature's down to 5-7 degrees centigrade, which is, what's that, 40-45 degrees Fahrenheit. This is rated down to, and it'll also depend on how warm or how cold you sleep. So if you need a warmer underquilt, I'd only use this to go down to about 10-15 degrees centigrade, which is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. If you sleep warmer and you don't need as much to keep warm, then I suppose you could take this down even lower. It all depends on you, but it is rated to about the 5 degrees centigrade, 7 degrees centigrade rating, which, like I said, is about 40-45 degrees Fahrenheit. I never trust any of the ratings on any sleeping bags or any sleeping mats, because each company has got their own idea of what the R value is or the rating should be. Some of them say, yeah, you can go down to 0 degrees centigrade, which is, so that's 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But that is the extreme. They don't say it's your comfort. So go by what you think, what you're used to, what you need. Don't take the word of anybody else of what's going to be best for them. I think my filter, there it is. My filter kept coming on and off. So if you're new to my channel and you've enjoyed this video, please go down below and click on the subscribe button, click the like button and click the bell notification next to it so you can be notified of all future videos. If you're already a subscriber, again, I thank you very much. So until next time, get out there, have some fun and take care.